Good morning. Good morning, and whenever you are watching this, if you're watching this on the replay, welcome, welcome. As always, take a little pause, see who's able to join us live this morning. And if you join us, whether you're on the replay or you are watching live, always pop a little hello. It's really nice to see who is coming on. And I hope you had a beautiful weekend. How gorgeous was it? Oh my gosh, we had some incredible weather here. Got up to lots of things over the weekend. And what I want to share today about the solar plexus part 2 is really, really pertinent to, I think, probably everyone. So I want to wait till we've got our regulars here on live before I launch into that. But solar plexus part 2. Hello, beautiful Kerry. So lovely to see you the other night. So we had our Kirtan Collective up at Timbeerwai near Karoi, if anyone's down here in southeast Queensland. And it went off, didn't it, Kerry? I missed you at the end. I think you guys went off pretty quick after. But yeah, super, super fun. And that was a good example of a little bit of what we're going to share today around solar plexus part 2. So let's do a quick recap of last week while we're waiting for anyone to come on. So last week, solar plexus part 1, we looked at willpower, how willpower needs to be there if we're going to do anything, right? And how it can be a struggle when we're in resistance to things. So even when we're doing challenging things, even when we're doing those day-to-day things that find, we might build up some resistance around it. Somehow finding a desire, a will, a why within that. Find that innocence, bring the sacred to every moment. And we also looked at the digestion, just activating solar plexus itself with the Bij mantra. We looked at digestion, that physical digestion and mental and emotional digestion are really, really important for our well-being and for this part of our body to be open and active so that we can actually activate our will. Because if we're so caught up with gunk here in the solar plexus, and I don't just mean in our physical body and in our stomach and in our digestion, I mean mental digestion, emotional digestion. If we're not processing, then we can't activate our will because we're so clogged up. Think about a fire, yeah? You can't throw everything on the fire. The fire is going to go out. There needs to be the right kind of things. And it's the same with us. We need the right kind of fuel. We need the right kind of mental stimulation fuel. We need the right kind of emotional fuel and time to process our emotions and environments to support our emotional well-being. We need the right kind of food and exercise for our bodies. All of this helps to activate our will. Who else has, I used to sometimes have a bit of a Monday morning hangover, not from alcohol, but just from not eating very well often over the weekend, having that as my, 20%, of not eating great. And if I do that to a significant degree, I will have a bit of an emotional hangover from eating food. And that doesn't help with our willpower, with our energy levels, right? With our brightness. So all of this is so important, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more today. Good morning, beautiful Danielle, about this sort of part 2 of solar plexus. We're going to use the Om Namah Shivaya mantra for solar plexus today, and we're coming up to Shivaratri. And Shivaratri is a time in the Hindu and yoga calendar where we celebrate, and I'll be celebrating too, the energy of Shiva, right, and the aspects of Shiva. And there's one celebration that I'll be going to where we stay up all night to chant and sing to Shiva and to meditate and to do yoga practice. And it is this commitment that it is said, grants a boon, a favor, a desire to be fulfilled through your commitment. So this is the flavor of today. Oh, tickles on my forehead. The flavor of today is the commitment that we need and that we can activate through working with solar plexus. The commitment that is required in order to create an outcome. the commitment that is helped through routine and simplicity. Again, think back to the fire where you tried to throw everything on the fire, right? It's very hard for that fire to work well. It's the same with us. If we throw everything at our life, right? We try to do too much. We try to do everything. We have fingers in every pie. How much more challenging is it to create the will, to create the energy, to sustain through something, to create the willpower to do all of that and to do it well? It's very hard. So the friends of the solar plexus are actually simplicity and routine. Simplicity and routine. If you can do something, create more simplicity in your life, because we also get bound down with decision making, right? There's so much to this topic. I could talk for a year on this, but we get bound down and procrastinate with the amount of decisions we have to make. Yeah, put your hand up, literally on here, if you get decision fatigue. When I was going through real challenging emotional shifts in my peri-menopause, decision making was one of the hardest things to do. It was really anxiety provoking, right? Because it takes so much out of us. So the less decisions you have to make by creating simplicity and routine, the more freedom you actually have. Think about that for a moment. Feel into that. The more routine and structure and simplicity you have, we're not talking rigidity, we're not talking to the nth degree, but a certain amount of routine and simplicity creates freedom, creates space. And when we're talking about activating solar plexus, activating will, tapasya, fire, energy, joy, wonder, it goes hand in hand with that. I've noticed something recently, and you might relate to this in yourselves, but our two boys are at home at the moment. They're like 18, 21, and they were looking for work. They've just finished their studies in various different ways and looking for work. And when they didn't have anything to do, and you might have noticed this, when they didn't have anything to do, they were falling into not great, feeling great mentally, falling into sloppy eating, waking up late, being a bit grumpy, right? Not being super helpful, being forgetful, right? All of these things, the joy wasn't there. Now they are both working and they have way less time in their day, but they are cooking up a storm over the weekend to prepare meals for the week, healthy meals for the week. They are going to the gym. They are putting in their time for doing their joyful activities, whether it's big walks on the beach, or one of them kayaked up the beach to the lagoons the other day. And their mental health is great. They're joyful. They're being nice and helpful around the house, right? This is what I mean. Yes, decision fatigue. We've got some agreement here. That certain amounts of simplicity and structure creates the freedom where we can activate more of our feminine nature, right? We can't always just be in that divine feminine of flow and creativity and chaos leading to creativity, because we are a balance. We're a balance of the two. And a lot of the solar plexus energy is about that alignment, is about that focus, is about the structure, the simplicity, which allows the space for the creativity, which allows the clarity for the desires to be felt and the discernment. So feel into your world. Do you need a little bit more simplicity and focus and structure? Or do you have a lot of that to the nth degree, to the rigidity? Do you need to burn up some of the rigidity to, again, have a bit more simplicity, right? Or stoke the fire of desire, like we talked about last week, with stoking the fire of desire and burning up the excess, right? Burning up the excess. So you can flavor today's meditation to however you want to flavor it, because we're still activating solar plexus. But I wanted to bring in these other aspects because they are often, overlooked. And look, we only have a couple of you on this morning. That often happens. It's pretty funny, right? People avoid structure, they avoid tapasya, they avoid routine, and it's a pretty fun, and commitment, that's the other word. I knew there was another word I was looking for. Commitment is key, right? Focus and commitment. Doing something small every day builds the joy, builds the outcomes, right? Builds the rewards, and builds the muscle, right? Builds the muscle of doing things in a good way, right? We're not talking about doing not good things. You brush your teeth every day. It's a commitment that you have learnt is a good thing, and so you do it, and it doesn't feel great when you don't. That's the kind of thing we're talking about with our solar plexus. We build in these good routines, whether it's a 10-minute exercise regime, or doing this meditation every day, or doing a mantra, or the walk on the beach, or whatever it is that is good for you, or whatever it is that is good in your work to fulfill the why and the desire. We build these little structures in because ultimately they reduce decision fatigue. They keep you working in a really, thinking of you as a machine, they keep you working in a really good way, and you're going to feel better for it. Yeah? So, lots of tickles today. So feel into your posture and your position, because we're going to be activating the solar plexus. And what I said last week, remember, we can often collapse at solar plexus posturally. We're closing down our light. So lifting up, we want a nice tall spine so the energy can flow. And our mudra is a mudra today that we classically kind of tend to relate to the third eye, but our solar plexus and all of our chakras are very connected to the third eye. So we're going to use Chitikash mudra, something you might find yourself doing anyway when you want to focus, and it is a mudra of focus. And we're going to use Om Namah Shivaya, and we might do a little bit of sound activation here with Om Namah Shivaya, and we use the Kapalabhati breath. So the Kapalabhati breath is short, sharp exhalations, pulling in the belly button. If you've done meditations with me before, you definitely will have done this. That's what it looks like. If you are on your moon time, if you're bleeding at the moment, this is not a good breath for you. I just want to remind you that. And if you're feeling like sharp headachy, often not, because it's building heat. And a sharp headache is often a little heat orientated. If you've got a heavier dullness to you, great. We'll usually blow that off. What else? Anyone suffers from any unregulated blood pressure or any blood pressure issues, or you're feeling lightheaded at the moment for whatever reason, just be very mindful. This probably isn't good for you either. It's going to build a lot of pressure. So really listen to your body. Blood pressure issues, not so much, okay? And then just listen to your body as you do it. A little bit of dizziness, a little bit of lightheadedness is fine, because we're changing the carbon dioxide oxygen levels in your blood. We're increasing your capacity, but nothing that makes you feel stressed or overly strained, okay? All right. Awesome. Just going to give this a quick little refresh before we begin. Beautiful. Come to your Chitikash mudra for the moment. We can keep coming back to it as we come into other things. So closing down your eyes and feel how all of that has landed for you. What message in there was for you, right? There's a little gem, isn't there? A nugget within that is dropping in and relates perhaps particularly for you at this moment. And relax yourself into receiving that fully without self-judgment or guilt or shame. We're all human. We all have challenges with many of the same things, and we're all refining and growing, which means coming to the edge of new challenges all of the time. So resting in the allowing of your environment and the space, all the sounds, all the sensations. Resting back in your body in this allowing. Hugging the spine. And resting your awareness as you anchor your spine energy into the pelvic bowl. Rest your awareness there for a moment, deep in your center. And then rooting that awareness down through your thighs, your feet, however you're sitting, into the earth. And the very fiery core of the earth. Drawing up energy from this fire through your feet, through your legs, up through base chakra, sacral chakra, and now into Manipura, solar plexus, between your belly button and the bottom of your sternum. And hug that awareness still into the spine at the level of your solar plexus. Visualize a fire or a ball of sun. And let's begin with the breath. Just start to breathe into that area. If you want to release a hand at the moment and just place it there. And with your regular breath, just stoke the inner fire. See that fire glowing more brightly with each breath. As you breathe in and out, stoking that fire. And stoking that fire with your own personal intent. What aspect of Tapasya and solar plexus energy do you want to bring in more to your life? Or burn up? If there's too much rigidity, what do you want to burn up if you want to create more simplicity? Bring that intent strongly in now into the fire. And then coming into Kapalabhati breath. So we take a nice big breath in, short, sharp exhalations. Relax and inhale. Hold the breath here. Imagine, feel that prana, breath, circulating through your torso. Breathe out through the nose. Notice how you feel. Take a natural breath. And we have an option to go again, breathing in. Relax. Take a nice breath in. Belly to chest. Hold. An option here to close off with the bandha. Lift the chest and bring the chin in. Draw up through the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Release the bandha, release the breath. Take a breath, noticing again how you feel. And then one more round, breathing in. Release the breath. Inhale. Holding the breath, optional bandha. Release the bandha, release the breath, and just notice how you feel with your breath and your body. So just noticing, you stay with your breath. I am noticing that we've got quite a challenging connection here on the internet right now. But I'm going to keep going so that we have this recording for anyone to watch the replay, and hope that the replay is a lot better. So notice how you're feeling after your breath, if you're still with me. You may have noticed some heat from that breath, and that is part of the Tapasya, that inner fire, burning up the excess, burning up the dross that makes it hard to stay focused and energized with your will activated. You might feel some more lightness in your body. Staying with your awareness at solar plexus. Let's come into the Om Namah Shivaya. I'm going to do some claps here at your solar plexus to really shake up the energetics here in your energy body. Ready? Breathing in. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 And bring your hands back into the Chitikash mudra. Close your eyes, and you are welcome to keep on with that mantra internally. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Directing your awareness still to the solar plexus. See that fire clear and bright now. Check in with your posture, that you're not collapsing at the solar plexus. And we're going to dive into some stillness now, some focus. Focused awareness, inviting in that which is your intent, into the clarity and light of your solar plexus fire. Diving deep into the light and stillness of that clarity. If at any time you get distracted, come back to your breath, the mantra, or your body awareness. And have this single point focus on your intent. Lovingly again and again, drawing your attention back if your mind wanders. Lovingly guide it back to the focus, awareness. And if it's not already in an I am format, your affirmation, if your intent is more a doing, then bring it in as an I am, affirming now the light and power and clarity of your highest self moving forward from this moment on. And taking a deeper breath in and out now. Feeling that, embodying that I am statement and that intent. And how does it feel to see yourself moving through the world, through your day, through your week in that energy, with that intent, with that I am? How does that change things? Visualize that. This is the pre-paving part to really magnetize more of this into your world, activate more of it, and the outcomes that you want to see in your world through being the highest version and expression of yourself. See yourself. How does that change how you walk through the world? How does that change how others see you and receive you? How does it change how you feel, what you do, the decisions you make? But above all, how you feel. You get to choose which version of you shows up in the world. You get to choose where you place your attention. You get to choose what choices you make without worrying what anyone else thinks. That's part of the Tapasya, part of the will, saying align to your highest self, not other people's demands, wants or needs, or even what you think they might need or want. The highest for you is what that choice is that is going to lead to the highest or is in the highest. Yeah. Slowly open your eyes if you haven't already and take in your surroundings from this light of yourself. It is a beautiful, bright morning here in southeast Queensland. I'm not sure what it's like there with you, wherever you are, but it is bright, it is light, reflecting this light that you are, that we are. Take your light now out into the world and light others up. Give others permission to activate their own light, to live in their own light. This is what we're about. We are not just about ourselves. We are about being beacons for others. Through your actions, through your beingness, you give permission for others to activate the highest in themselves. We don't know necessarily what that looks like, but through being in our presence, through seeing us, through witnessing you, us, being in our highest, it activates and ignites that possibility for others if they are open to receive that. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Now, I know we had some challenges with the signal. If you are watching this on the replay, if there's any statement, an I am statement or a comment you would like to share right now or how you're feeling, please do that. It is so, so helpful. I'm hoping that on the replay, this is all super clear. And we might have to shake things up a bit. We've had a bit of a run of not great connections, even though my laptop is saying we're connected. Obviously, the strength of that connection is not very good. All right, fingers crossed that the download of this when it's on Facebook is all good. And I will also be uploading these meditations now to YouTube within a few days or by the end of the week. So if ever the Facebook is not okay, I'm going to see whether that download off of there, it might actually be a little bit better. So fingers crossed, you'll have a couple of options to access these meditations now. All right, beautiful souls, have a great day. Lots of love to you.